Spikesmth here, chillin'. What's up? So, Prop 19's been on my mind, because fucking yeah, marijuana. Booyah. Fucking, so, I was looking on the No on Prop 19 website, because these guys are the ones basically spearheading this anti-liberty law, or the non-passage of a freedom law, whatever. And they have a frequently asked questions section on their website. And I just want to go through with you and share with you the fucking bullshit they're peddling as information. So fuck these assholes. Let's see what they have on here. Alright, FAQ number 1. What does initial polling say? According to their website, recent polling shows most Californians oppose Prop 19. The statewide Reuters Ipsos poll conducted October 2 through 4 shows California voters rejecting Prop 19 with 53% voting no and 43% voting yes. Okay, alright, well polls, right? Polls. First of all, the only fucking poll that matters is the one in November, okay? So, I don't give a fuck what your polls say. But, you know, I wanted to get a different point of view from this, so I went to a not 100% accurate, but fucking far more believable than a political action group, good old Wiki motherfuckingpedia. And where is that section? So they have a list of these opinion polls all the way back from 4/20 all the way up to October 21 through 23. And they have highlighted the ones that are actually wide enough to be statistically relevant. And, you know, a lot of the earlier polls actually showed more support for it, and unfortunately it seems like support has been waning a little bit. But the most recent poll, at least Wikipedia has, from the Public Policy Polling group or whatever, from October 21 to 23, a survey of 622 people, was 45% yes, 48% no, 7% undecided, and the margin of error is 3.9%. So this is not a, you know, it's a statistical tie. So once again, it only fucking matters in November, so fuck your polls. Okay, FAQ number 2. How does this initiative affect employers? According to an analysis released by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, a California employer will no longer be able to, quote, screen job applicants for marijuana use, regulate any employee conduct related to the use, transportation, or cultivation of marijuana unless the employer can prove job impairment or choose to maintain a drug-free workplace consistent with federal law. They go on. Furthermore, according to a recent analysis released by the California Chamber of Commerce, yeah, those liberal fucks, an employer could not take any disciplinary action against an employee until the use actually impaired that employee's performance. Might want to check your grammar there, website. Employers would also be required to allow marijuana smoking at work because Proposition 19 would prohibit denial of any right or privilege granted by the Act without defining what that means. If an employer allows employees cigarette smoking breaks and or certain areas in which cigarette smoking is allowed, they would have to allow marijuana smoking as well. Okay, yeah, cool. So fucking what? So fucking what? Right, I don't want my surgeons to be high. I don't want the bus drivers to be high because that violates public safety and driving shit. Now, I actually checked out the actual law. Let me pull that up. Let's see what they say about employers and driving and whatnot. So this is all in the main body of the fucking law. Section 11304, Effective Act and Definitions, okay? Now Part A of that says, this act shall not be construed to affect, limit, or amend any statute that forbids impairment while engaging in dangerous activities such as driving, or that penalizes bringing cannabis to a school K through 12. So the laws prohibiting marijuana from going to schools or being in proximity to schools, those are upheld, okay? Fucking cool, right? The laws that prohibit driving while intoxicated, they are fucking upheld. Currently, if you're found to be smoking marijuana and driving, you get a DUI. That will continue, and I have no problem with that. That's fine. Although, I am a pretty damn good high driver, but anyway. And then Part C actually then says, no person shall be punished, fined, discriminated against, or denied any right or privilege for lawfully engaging in any conduct permitted by this Act. So basically, you can't drive, and you can't bring it to schools, and you can't traffic it across state lines, protected by this Act, or authorized pursuant to Section 11301, Provided, however, that the existing right of an employer to address consumption that actually impairs job performance by an employee shall not be affected. So, I find this to be a hugely beneficial correction to the current laws, okay? Somebody takes ADD medications and goes to work, they're fine, right? They're fine, even though those medications may be affecting them, or antidepressants, or heart medications, or painkillers, fucking all those things, right? And they don't get shit from their employers as long as they do their job satisfactorily. If their drugs are affecting their work, then the employer has the right to address their consumption, or maybe even terminate them if they can't do their job on their drugs. It is the same fucking thing, okay? If I am an accountant, and I'm really good at numbers, no matter how fucking high I am, and I fucking kill it every day. No mistakes, no nothing, I'm doing a good job. Then what business is it of my employer if I'm baked out of my mind? If I'm doing my job properly, go for it. Now, obviously, an accountant is not tied up with public safety, so, I don't want doctors and EMTs and bus drivers and truck drivers to be high because, they are affecting public safety. But if you're some backroom administrator in a hospital even, I see no problem as long as you're not making stupid mistakes. FAQ number 3. Proposition 19 prevents employers from meeting federal drug-free workplace rules. What effect will that have on California businesses? They say, a California employer will no longer be eligible to receive federal government grants or contracts greater than $100,000, according to blah blah blah. This includes any California businesses, governments, and educational institutions that receive federal money. It is currently estimated that K through university schools in California could stand to lose as much as $9.4 billion in federal funding should Prop 19 pass. You know what? I'm calling bullshit. That number is pulled out of your ass, okay? Now, like I just said, marijuana is not going to be allowed in schools. Especially, well, definitely public schools, but I'm sure that even private schools, to maintain their credibility or their certification, will not be, fucking pothead teachers and shit. So that makes no sense why the federal government would pull funding away from public schools that actually probably, as far as my interpretation, would still uphold the federal drug-free rules. FAQ number 4. How will this initiative impact public safety? The initiative expressly omits any definition of what constitutes being under the influence of marijuana. No driver over 21, including bus, taxi, light rail, train operators, or everyday commuters, can be required to be drug-free while operating a vehicle. Although the initiative says you cannot use marijuana while driving, it is completely permissible to use marijuana just prior to getting behind the wheel. This also opens up a tremendous liability question for employers who operate transportation companies or have company vehicles. They will no longer be able to require employees operating these vehicles to be drug-free. Fuck you, that's a lie. That is a lie. Because the law of driving under the influence supersedes all this bullshit. It's specifically written in the law, which you motherfuckers didn't read, and I'm sure you don't want your little fucking sheep followers to read it either, because they might see, this is actually kind of fucking reasonable. FAQ number 5. Does it allow the state to tax marijuana to reduce the state deficit? No, it specifically does not authorize state taxation, but purports to authorize the imposition of local taxes. However, since marijuana sales are still illegal under federal law, the United States Supreme Court has ruled, Leary v. U.S., 1969, that sellers may refuse to pay the tax since such payments would amount to self-incrimination under the Fifth Amendment. Individuals would be free to grow as much marijuana as they can in a 5x5 foot plot and keep and store as much of it as they want, indefinitely and tax-free, which means there is no tax benefit to either the state or localities. First off, that Fifth Amendment bullshit would not apply. That's a federal law. In California, it would be legal and taxable, and if we pass a state law, which is actually, it's not prohibited by the law, people would be required to pay the tax, because that's the law of the land. Now let me read some parts of the actual law, okay? Under B, purposes, Section 7 says it will ensure, if a city decides not to tax and regulate the sale of cannabis, that buying and selling cannabis within that city's limits will remain illegal, but that city citizens still have the right to possess and consume small amounts except as permitted under certain other details. Okay, Section 8, or Part 8, ensures that if a city decides it does want to tax and regulate the buying and selling of cannabis to and from adults only, that a strictly controlled legal system is implemented to oversee and regulate cultivation, distribution, and sales, and that the city will have control over how much cannabis can be bought and sold, except under certain other details. So the whole tax issue is only relevant in the cities where they decide that they want to allow the sale of the marijuana. If they allow the sale, then they can tax it, and they will get revenue, because some people will grow it, some people will consume it. Not everybody who consumes it wants to grow it themselves. See how that economics there works out? Fucking retarded. Alright, and the last two FAQs are who supports this initiative and who opposes this initiative. Now, it's interesting, okay? Who supports the initiative? On their website, the only person that they list as a supporter is Richard Lee, the founder of Oaksterdam University, Oakland, and that's it. So this one guy, according to them, just one guy wants to get all of our kids stoned. And then you go to who opposes, and you've got the list, you know, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, District Attorneys, California Narcotic Officers Association. I guess they don't want to lose their fucking job. Fucking Jerry Brown, who I'm probably going to vote for him anyway. And fucking, you know, a bunch of other dumb motherfuckers who probably never smoked pot and have no touch with fucking reality. But, now, we'll go back to that Wikipedia article I was talking about. Where is that section? So they have a list, stances on the initiative, people and groups who support it, and people and groups who oppose it. According to Wikipedia, which, you know, I find more credible than these fucking bigot retard fucks, on their list, the support is about, just eyeballing it, maybe 50% longer than the opposing. For example, some supporters, Barbara Lee from California's 9th District, Pete Stark, California's 13th District, American Federation of Teachers, National Black Police Association, ACLU of Northern, Southern, and San Diego, California. Alameda, you know, a lot of the Democratic Party, Terrence Hallinan, former district attorney of San Francisco, and on and on and on. The list is fucking long. I'll link that shit so you can look for yourself. So basically, what it comes down to is if you're opposing Prop 19, you do not have a good reason. You don't believe in freedom for other people. You're afraid of ghosts, which is retarded. Apparently, these people just use dishonest tactics. They count on people that haven't actually read the law. I hope when you motherfuckers get those little voter packets, you actually read the law itself. Because you don't have to be a genius to read legal gibberish. You just kind of got to think a little bit, which might be hard for some of these motherfuckers. But I smoke weed, and I'm fucking smart, and I read. So anyway, vote yes on Prop 19. If you're voting no, you're on the same side as the Nazis, the fucking anti-gay bigots, the racists, the Tea Party, even though they're all about liberty, but whatever the fuck. Anyway, political rant. I will link the text of the law. I will link Wikipedia, and I will link this motherfucking no on Prop 19 website. I think that's all I have to say. So yeah, motherfucking hail science.